Right now, in this very moment, there are thousands of talented, impact-driven coaches, consultants, service professionals. They're out there doing a lot of the right things, but most of them are invisible in their market. And it's not because they aren't good at what they do. It's because they are following broken visibility advice, disconnected roadmaps, and their message has literally become part of the noise. And instead of leading the conversations, they're disappearing into a sea of same-sounding messages. You are listening to Amplify Your Success Podcast, episode 451. And today, I'm kicking off a brand new series, and we're talking about the key reason you are still invisible in your market and how to take the lead so your message is amplified to millions. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success Podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, entrepreneurs and business leaders. It is your host, Melanie Benson, Authority Amplifier. And today we are talking about one of the key problems I see in the market right now, especially for people that recognize they need to have a presence online. They certainly would benefit from being consistent with visibility strategies that get them in front of their ideal clients, but they're doing all the right things and it's not working. It's not moving the needle. And I recognize a lot of people are feeling frustrated. We might be blaming the economy. There's a lot of confusion around what to do in the coaching marketplace. Things that used to work aren't. But here's what I know. If you have expertise in what you do, there are still people out there who need and want what you do. There are people who have problems that you solve, and people are buying. So it's not that there's not buyers. It's the way in which you're showing up, the way in which you're putting your message out there in the world is keeping you in that best kept secret energy. And this happens kind of subtly. Sometimes what happens more than anything is you've just gotten in a rut. You're doing the same things that you've always done. You haven't really picked up on, yes, it's valuable, but that message isn't going to move people into action anymore. Sometimes what you're doing is so like what everyone else is doing, you've kind of fallen into the generic plain Jane or plain John energy, and it's just noise. So let's unpack this today. Now, of course, my key belief is that everyone who has expertise can become unignorable as an expert. And when you do that, you turn up the energy, you turn up the fascination, you turn up the attention quality of what you're putting out in the world. And you can start right now with a free resource that I've put together. It's called The 7 Key Factors of Being Unignorable as an Expert. And this is based on the roadmap that I've personally used over and over and over again. It's what I teach my clients in my Authority Accelerator program. Basically, anything I put out is one of the components that's in this really valuable guide. So if you head to melaniebenson.com/framework. So this is kicking off a series where I want to help you move the needle in a very aligned and powerful way. I want to help you unlock your unignorable qualities, but maybe not the way you've been thinking. I'm a huge fan of leaning into what I call your authority factors and building a platform that disrupts the energy in your market, that helps you stand out in a bolder, more noticeable way. and gets you out of being invisible and gets you recognized for the work that you do in the world. And I'm going to cover 5 key strategies that I have seen personally work for me. I've worked my clients through them. They're going to have some unique qualities so that you can pick the one. And at the end of the series, I want to hear from you what you're going to put into action. I'll also connect the dots on some resources that I have here or I know are out there to help you not just leave this as an idea. Because I want you to really notice the part of you that says, I will do that and it's a someday. I will do that when I have time. I will do that when I have more space. I will do that after I do this other thing. You know what? You can't keep waiting. Waiting is keeping you invisible. Waiting until everything's ready. Waiting until you have it all figured out. It's diminishing your ability to be recognized for the extraordinary solutions that you have. So I'm going to encourage you, pick one. Pick all of them. Just do something that actually gets you to stand out in a market that's really noisy. So let's get clear what one of the key challenges that we all are facing right now. There's a lot of people that have expertise that probably sounds similar to us. And some of those experts are really good at gaining attention. They're really good at marketing. They're really solid with their visibility strategy. And it's working. So when people go to make a decision about who they're going to hire, who they're going to work with, if they don't get a referral, they're going to go with the person that is in front of them with the most aligned message at a time that really lands for them. Now, referrals alone are not going to do it anymore. We have to supplement referrals with a solid strategy to keep us top of mind when people are looking. That doesn't mean you have to do all of it. It just means you have to figure out something that will produce quality aligned client leads. And also, I believe that it helps to have these strategies in place because the opportunities to collaborate and be visible and speak on other people's stages, all of that comes from being an authority, being recognized that you do something well. Now, how do you know it's time to really put your attention and be intentional about an authority platform this year? The first one, absolutely, you've got an unpredictable up and down cash flow roller coaster. You don't have a solid way to keep leads coming in. You're not getting invitations. Okay, you're doing a lot of things that should be working, but they're not moving the needle. And again, you realize that you're getting passed over by other people that are just better at the visibility and marketing game. And this is a real thing. Again, you may not have the budget to invest thousands in pricey ad campaigns, but you can be recognized and referred and visible as somebody who has expertise. I think another thing that's a sign that you really need one of these 5 strategies is you're starting to feel kind of overwhelmed, maybe even burned out from so much effort that's not producing results. I did a post about this on my Instagram not too long ago, and it was amazing the feedback I got, the people saying, oh my gosh, you nailed it. And sometimes the overwhelm isn't because you're doing things that are unaligned. It's because you're doing strategies, but you're not seeing results. And that lack of results is making you feel things that don't feel good. Like, I don't have this figured out. Nobody likes what I'm doing. I don't have a message that people want to hear, right? Whatever your internal noise is. And the third thing that I think is going on here is it's very frustrating and it's a bit disillusioning. Is that a word? Disillusioning? It's disillusioning to be overlooked by people that you know are less qualified or deliver an inferior product than you do. You know, I personally went through this when I recognized that there were a new wave of coaches that were trained and learning how to market and putting themselves out there. I'd been in the business about maybe 8 to 9 years, and I started to recognize this was showing up for me because I'd been doing the same thing a long time and I had momentum. I also recognized there were a lot of people who were coming on strong, spending thousands and thousands of dollars in their visibility strategies. And they were great at one thing that I still wasn't good at that point, and that was how to position the value and the necessity of their programs. I had just been riding the wave of people who knew how good I was. And when you start to see these newer talents who you know and you hear through the rumor mill, like their stuff is not that good, yours is way better. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have paid for your program, but I joined that other thing because it was flashy in my face. It's disillusioning. But this is this strategy that I'm going to map out for you, and you picking one of these 5 key strategies, this is how you start to turn it around and get seen when you need to be seen by your ideal clients. Now, many visibility strategies are teaching you just how to get seen. Many marketing strategies are teaching you one component. But what they're missing is that there's a piece of this of how you actually build trust, because you are witnessed and experienced as someone who's a leader that has a track record. And this is a major breakdown in a lot of messaging strategies, a lot of visibility strategies is, you can be noisy, you can create a lot of momentum, you can have reels out of the wazoo, but if you are not trusted and people don't feel your leadership, especially now, you may have a gap between what people are experiencing of you and the result, the action you want them to take. And one of the things that sets me apart in the industry of people who teach messaging and visibility is I don't just teach messaging and visibility. I teach you how to be monetized and attract people who can and will pay for what you do because they recognize there's value in what you do and they must have it. Because really, what I call that lighthouse message attracts the right people in like a beacon. It's like a energy that just pulls them towards you. There is a edge that you gain. It's almost like you're elevating your work in a industry where everything starts to sound the same. You're elevating your authority, and that authority gives you an advantage when people are considering different people to work with. So let me give you a little peek into the series and the 5 authority boosting power moves that are going to shift you out of that invisibility syndrome and into the coach that people refer, they seek out, they hire, and they book to be the expert on their stages. And these are not cookie cutter hacks. These are not something that you're just going to plug in. These are to be intentional to grow the reach of your work in the world. And so if you are somebody who you are an expert in your field, whatever it is, your service provider, your coach, you're a course creator, you consider yourself a thought leader, and you focus on transformation, you focus on making an impact in the world, but you feel like the best kept secret because you are not known for it, this is for you. And if you are tired and exhausted and overwhelmed by marketing that just feels like you're constantly on a treadmill and it's not moving the needle and you're shouting into the void, definitely pay attention, because you're going to get at least one good strategy that's not about social media that's going to help you stand out in your industry. And ultimately, this is for people who it's time to bold up a little bit. You've been playing it safe. You've been holding yourself back. You've been maybe afraid to take something on that feels too big. Well, when you know how to do it and you have support, it's not going to be so big you can't do it, but it's going to be that big needle mover that shakes energy up around you and gets people seeing you as someone they need to pay attention to. So here's what's coming in the series. In the first one that'll be coming next week, I'm going to talk about the power of your thought leadership. Now, you may not even consider yourself a thought leader. And it's not really about you have to have a unique voice as much as this is about owning your voice as a leader and claiming go-to authority. So the first episode that's coming next week is all about the powerful transformation that happens when you elevate your work into leadership. And this is about getting known for the thing that you do best. And it's interesting how many people, they know they do something really well, but nobody knows what they do because they've been putting out so many different things. They're like, well, what does this person really do? There's no thread that connects everything. There's no continuity between the different things that they put out. Or maybe you've pivoted and you're going in a new direction. You've got to rebuild it. You're going to want to work this process to get known. And I'm going to give you a couple strategies that help you boost your known factor and really stand out and become the person that people refer and turn to for that piece. So we're going to start with just the fundamentals of how to get known and take the lead in your industry. The second episode we're going to do in the series is I'm going to cover one of my favorite strategies that everybody can do. And it's super simple, even though it might feel a little big, and that is write a book. There's 3 ways to do this. And I'm going to talk about the 3 ways to do it. And the one that everybody can do right now. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a client right now who's doing this as part of her program in Authority Accelerator. And the reason why this is second is because this helps you really clarify what you want to be known for. Writing a book, whichever of the 3 strategies I'm going to teach you, it is a clarifier. And it helps you weed out confusing pieces of your message, confusing pieces of your framework, and really hone in your most powerful self. And whichever of the 3 styles you use, it will actually quickly help you get positioned. So it helps all the other things I'm going to teach. So that's the second one we're going to cover. Then third, what I want to do is help you see the value of hosting your own podcast or show. Again, everybody can do this. And I know a lot of people, they hold back because they're like, oh my gosh, this is something that I'll have to do forever. You don't. I have so many different ways that you can host a show. And when you want to open up collaborations and you want to start strategic partnerships and intentional alliances with your peers to get in front of other audiences, having this asset is going to speed up your path to the highest value alliance partners. So you definitely want to consider this. And I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to give you one way to do it that you may not have thought of that everybody can do. The next episode in the series is going to be how to borrow other people's platforms. I like to consider it being a guest expert. This isn't even just about being on podcasts, even though that's my favorite one. But there's some things that a lot of people are missing that keep them from seeing the exponential growth opportunity and the authority boosting power of being a guest on other people's platforms. This is the ultimate trust and visibility booster. This is a quick fix for anybody, even if you haven't done the other ones. And yet, a lot of people still aren't successfully leveraging this strategy. So I'm going to paint a picture for you of what's possible, even if you don't know what hot topic to cover. The next one in the series is probably my new favorite, and it's how to host your own profitable summit. I've been hosting summits for years. I used to host my own events with speakers. Now I host them virtually 99% of the time. It is a solid audience builder, authority booster, and client attraction strategy. And it doesn't have to be hard, but it is really, really powerful. I have a lot of my clients have been turning to me, Melanie, can you kind of help me map out a summit? So I'm going to cover what to do and reveal a brand new resource to help you design and launch your summit in 90 days or less. Are you ready for this? I hope you are. This is going to be it's kind of fun to do the series like this so we can go deeper into each element. These are going to be shorter, but very powerful. And I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest question about launching one of those authority platforms before the year's over? Let me know what's on your mind. And I will be back next week with the first of the episodes. Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. We're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.